Let's see. Collection of users who can share the files and system resources. Files and system resources uh, collectively together is called as a group. Let's group. Now, while creating a group here, to create a group, we need to specify two things. One is called group name and group ID. See, to create a group, we need to specify group name and group ID. Group name and group ID. Where group name is used for user reference and group ID for system reference. The system cannot remember the name. The system cannot identify the names. The system can understand only the number, and the user cannot define. They cannot remember the multiple numbers. He can only remember the names here. So for the system reference, we have a ID, and for the user reference, we have a name. See where group name is used for group name is used for user reference, and group ID is used for system reference. Group name is used for user reference and group ID is for system reference. When you're using a group IDs here, we have two types of group IDs. We have two types of group IDs. We have two types of group IDs. Group IDs. Okay. First one is your system defined, okay, whose numbers are from 0 to 499. We have two types of group IDs. First one is system defined, the numbers are from 0 to 499, and the second one is your user defined, where are from like a 500 to 60,000. So system defined group ID is from 0 to 499 and user defined group ID is from 500 to 60,000. The next, we have two types of groups. We have two types of groups. The first one is called as your primary group, and the second one is called as your secondary group. We have two different types of groups. One is called primary group, and second one is called secondary group. Take an example of this user here, Ali. I have one user by name Ali. He actually has to support for like a sales group. He actually has to support for sales. The main group he has to work. But sometimes he has to support your marketing, your finance, as well as your admin also. The main group to which he belongs to is sales, but sometimes he has to support marketing, finance, and admin. The main group to which a user belongs to is called as a primary group, and the alternate group to which the user can also belong to is called a secondary group. Actually, when you create a user, the user can belong to 16 groups, out of which one primary and 15 secondary. So the user can have 15 secondary groups, but only one primary group. And one more thing, we cannot create a user without a primary group. It's mandatory to create a user. It's mandatory to have a primary group to the user. If you specify it, well and good. If you don't specify a primary group while creating a user, one group is automatically assigned. We'll discuss when we come to that point. I'll show you how to what that group is. So we have two different types of groups. One is called primary group and second one secondary group here. So let us see what this primary group means. Primary group. It is the main group to which the user belongs to. The user belongs to, and the user can belong to only one primary group, okay, Secondary groups can be many, but primary could always be one. Primary group can only be one primary group, and cannot create a user without primary group. Primary group. We cannot create a user without a primary group. If you don't specify it, that's allocated automatically. The next, second one is your secondary group. Secondary group. So what is secondary group here? It is the group to which a user can also. It is the group to which the user can also belong to. The user can also belong to, and the user can belong to 15 secondary groups. So user can belong to how many secondary groups? 15 secondary groups. The main group is called primary group, and the alternate group is called as the secondary group. Which group to user can belong to 15. And this the secondary group is also called as alternate group. Also called as alternate, like this. One more thing. When you create a user, when you create a group, when we create a group, the group information is saved in the file. Its information is saved in the file /etc/group. So when you create a group by default, the group information is saved in one of the file. The file name is /e/group. And to this group we can assign a password. When I assign a password, the group passwords are stored in the file /etc/g_shadow. So /e/g group is the /group is the file in which consists of group information, and /e/g shadow is a file which consists of group password information. And commands for your group administration, and commands used for group administration. So first one is like your group add. First one is your group add. So what is group add is to which used to create a group. The second one is your group mod, which used to modify the group. And third one is your group del, which used to delete a group. And the fourth one is your G password, which used to assign a password to your group. Group add is used to create a group. Group mod is to modify a group. Group del to delete a group, and G password is to assign a password to a group. Then the syntax. So what is the syntax to create a group? To create a group. The syntax to create a group is like this, like your a group add a -g, like a GID, as well as the group name. So this is the syntax to create a group, right? Now let us see a few options here. Like let us see how to create a group and how to manipulate these groups. See, let me give you options like this, like a group add -g, like a 1500, like a cells. See there, I'm creating one group by name sales. So you can see there, group add -g 1500 sales. My group name is sales, whose ID is 1500. My group name is sales, whose ID is 1500. Now a group add, then finance. You can see there. So for sales, the group ID is 1500, but for finance, I not specified any group ID. So what the group ID of finance will be? We have two different cases. Let me define them. Let me give you more examples, like a group add -g, like a 2000 marketing. Then group add, then admin. So the group ID of marketing is 2000, and group ID of admin is, oh my god, what is this? Let us see. When you create a user, when you create a group, the group information is saved one of the file. What the file name is /etc/group. So when you go for the /group, you can see it here. Like for sales, what the group ID you given as 1500. But finance, we are not given any group ID. if you don't specify any group ID for this, while creating a group, if you don't specify any group ID, we have two cases. Actually say that we have two different types of IDs. One is system defined 0 to 499, second one user defined 500 to 60,000. Where the defined user defined start from 500 to 60,000. So the point is, when you create a group without specifying group ID, case two, we have two cases. Case one, all these are user defined group IDs. If there are no user defined group IDs, it will start assigning from 500. You are not yet created any group. It's a fresh brand new system. You are not created any groups till now. So when you create a group without specifying group ID, it will start assigning from 500. And if you have a user defined group IDs, for example, till now here, like up to Zabbis, I have created one group by name sales. So up to the sales here, you can see it here, up to the sales from your 500 to up to the sales, these are user defined group IDs. The later after I created finance without specifying group ID. Case 2, if you create a group without specifying group ID, it will take the increment value of the highest user defined group ID. You can see there, before up to this 500 to 60,000 user defined, but till now we have up to 1500 only. But finance I created group ID without specifying group ID. What happens? It will take the increment value of the highest number. So what the highest number is 1500. What's its increment value is 1501. Then later here I created admin. The group ID is 2000 rupees. Later mark 2000 ID. 2000 is a group ID. Later I created admin without specifying group ID. What happened? It will take the increment value. So after creating mark here, what the highest value is 2000. What its increment value will be 2001. Now see this, like your group add, your Cisco. Oh, 1 minute. Oh, reverse way. Just a minute. Group add hyphen G, like a 4000, a CCNA. So I have a group here. When I'm CCNA, what the group ID will be? 4000. Your group add, then CCNP. So what the group add CCNP. So what the group ID of CCNP will be? So till now here we have to 2001. Then later we created CCNA. What the group ID of CCNA is 4000. So after that, what the increment value of the highest, what the highest value would be? 4000 will be the highest value. What is increment value will be 4001. For CCNP, the group ID will be 4001. Let us verify. Slash etc slash group. See there, what the value is? 4001. Got it? When you create a group without specifying group IDs, there are two cases. If there is no user defined group ID, it will start assign from 500. Case 2, if there is a user defined group ID, it will take the increment value of the highest user defined group ID. Right? Let us write this is the point here. Note,